My name is Fatima Ali-Salaam. I grew up in the neighborhood of Mattapan, Massachusetts. The main reason why I love living there, my husband and children grew up there, but also to ensure that my children grew up around a majority Black neighborhood. The Greater Mattapan Neighborhood Council was formed in order to make decisions about land use, about economic development, and about public safety, primarily within the Greater Mattapan boundaries. I've been serving as chair for the GMNC for 3.5 years. As I go along and meet more and more people in my community, I find it very invigorating. Every Sunday for the last 3.5 years, I walk Blue Hill Avenue from Mattapan Square to Grove Hall and back. And one of the things that I've seen is what the effect of different public services, whether it be transportation, food. When the pandemic hit in March of 2020, very early on, we directly delivered food to Mattapan families. It made me very cognizant, to be responsive on a personal level with people and getting to know more people in our community. One of the hardest things for people we found during the pandemic is to make sure you don't feel disconnected. And it's that interaction day to day, sometimes just to talk. What keeps me motivated is working with my neighbors and friends for our community to collectively come together and really start making decisions and making our voices heard in one direction. In my community, that had not happened before. And that is a huge win for us.
My name is Clodagh Drummey. I'm the Executive Director of the Presentation School Foundation Community Center. The Presentation School Foundation Community Center is an Allston Brighton community anchor. The community center was formed by a group of community residents back in 2004 in response to the closing of the Our Lady of the Presentation School. Not wanting to see the building lost as a community resource, community members organized themselves and ran a long grassroots campaign to reclaim the building. Today, the Presentation School Foundation Community Center is home to a variety of community resources, including ABCD's Allston Brighton Neighborhood Opportunity Center. Last year, we worked with ABCD, as well as the other organizations in the building, to plan and host a block party celebration. It brought together people of all ages, races, and ethnicities to celebrate. Many of the organizations in our building, including ABCD, had been operating throughout the pandemic, providing essential community services, but the community hadn't had a chance to gather in that way, and it was truly wonderful. And we're doing the same again this year. This year, our celebration will also include the creation of a community mural that will showcase what spirituality means to our community in 2022. It's inspiring to work alongside organizations that are working so diligently to impact the community and to improve the lives of the people within it.
My name is Barbara Dulin. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm retired, but I'm licensed social worker with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So I ministered a lot, shared a lot, and was called to go higher in the Lord in my studies and my understanding. And eventually I was licensed as a minister and then ordained as an elder. I lived in the South End, and during that time I saw a lot of Black-owned businesses close, and I began to develop a program which is called Business Not As Usual to help people be empowered in entrepreneurship. As an offspring of that, I wanted to do something for the teens. So in 2012, I began to develop the 7-week series, Saturdays only, for teens 13 and 19, to talk about multiple streams of income, economic development. My day with them is to let them know that there is greatness in you. I'm there to let them know that the struggles that they're going through, we all went through. We developed that relationship with ABCD, used the space there. Once the teens understand economic empowerment, once they understand self-sufficiency, it gives me great satisfaction. I just get so excited when I see the light bulb go off in their eyes and when they get it. When they graduate from college, when they start their own business, and they come back and they tell me what they have accomplished. When they ask me to write a reference letter for them, you know, it keeps me going. My name is Clare Sheridan. I live in Medford, Mass. I'm retired librarian and archivist. The Asian American Civic Association is a fabulous organization helping immigrants, not just Asians, but all immigrants, to teach them English. They give job training. I knew Mary Chin, the CEO of the AACA, socially. Mary asked me to help edit the Sampan newspaper because they needed a new editor. It's a newspaper that's put out by AACA, and it's for the Chinese community in this area, and it's bilingual. It has the English section, and then it's translated into Mandarin. I help every year obtain auction items for their gala. I contact people and find out what they're willing to give, and I've done that for many years. I guess I just regard myself as somewhat on call for the organization. Outside of AACA, I am heavily involved in Palestinian support work, raise money for a children's organization in the West Bank. I always feel like I want to help the underdog, and these things that I've been involved in are just things that were in the air at that time, and they needed help. I was happy to do it.
My true name is Felice Bezeredy, but people can pronounce Felice, so I changed it to Felix. I immigrated from Italy in 1968, and I came to this country. One day back in 2010, I woke up with a tingle in my left lip. And about 10 minutes later, I was completely paralyzed. I had a stroke. It took me 2 years of rehabilitation to learn how to walk, how to talk, how to eat. It was an experience, but also a spiritual experience. So I converted, I became a born-again Christian, and ever since then, I've been part of the church. I'm an independent pastor. When the pandemic started, I realized the need for people to get help obtaining food. I started distributing about 5,000 boxes a week for my community. Next to our church, there's this closed down restaurant. A friend of mine owns it. I went up to him and I said, listen, I have an idea. Since this place is closed down, can I use it to distribute the food? Beginning, I was receiving the food directly from the USDA, and something that I'm still doing right now. I have a team of about 3 people that I count on because I couldn't do it alone. A lot of work, a lot of patience, but it was all worth it. I'm a cancer survivor, I'm a stroke survivor, I'm a war survivor, so the Lord has kept me for something. And I think that the reason that is my mission to help those who are needy.